Oke, Pak Ci.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Today I will give a presentation about outlet lifter with IoT monitoring and machine vision. Next, before we start, let me introduce our of group. And I will be the moderator for this presentation. Is Nabil, Rizky, Claudia, and Suci. Okay. First, we successfully developed an operator detection system for machine startup requirement using YOLO to detect human presence and hand movement as authentication for operator. Then we can develop a web application that can control the machine start and stop process. This web application also features monitoring capabilities to view machine movement and detect possible machine error. We can also see whether the operator is in front of the machine or not. Last, we have developed an alarm system that can detect error during machine operator. When an error occurs, the machine will stop and the reset uh, must be pressed to restart. Okay, thank you. Next. Okay, mechanical design. Uh, Here we are using an acrylic base with dimension 27 and 33 centimeter. That are have a PLC, relay, and ESP with acrylic base. Thank you. Next.
Oke, on this slide, I have a job desk as electrical design. So, this time I'm responsible for the electrical design that has been done. For the electrical design, design plan use relays to connect with ESP32 and PLC. Uh, and the obstacle is electrical design is availability of 24 relay consumable on campus. Okay, next slide. Okay. The goal is install the monitor machine driven by PLC-TM 241 and implement an SCADA system using ESP32. Systematic several pins on the ESP32 have been initiated as output ESP32 to PLC to give a commands and input PLC to ESP32 to monitor the machines. Okay. For the output, 3.3 volt relay module is used to active the coil from the ESP IO pin, and the NO relay contact is supplied with 20 volt voltage from the PLC to the PLC input address. Meanwhile, for the pin 24 relays is used to activate out, coil from the PLC output address, and the NO relay contact is supplied with 3 point with GND to ESP32 pin. So in this schematic as a difference between the diagram and actual components, specifically in the relay from the PLC output to ESP32. In this drawing, use the relay module and the actual our project is use 24 relay. Okay, next.
Okay. My name is Jonas Bagus as the leader team and the PLC programmer. In this section, I will explain about the topology and the program PLC. Okay, for the topology, we have several items that we use. The first one is the output of machine, Wagobot bus, PLC TM241, relay 5 volt and relay 24 volt, ESP32, laptop, handphone, and MQTT broker. So for the topology, communication between the machine and the Wago bus is used hard wiring, and the communication between Wago bus and PLC is using Modbus TCP/IP. For the ESP to PLC is using hardwire with relay as the bridge to the communication about two item. For the communication between handphone, laptop, and ESP32 is use MQTT protocol. Okay, next. Next, I will explain my job desk as the PLC programmer. So in this PPL, I have the PLC program has been complete for machine movement, alarm system, and communication with ESP32. So in this PPL project, I have create the PLC program for the machine from the start until the end. And I have add the alarm system in its sequence with timeout 5 seconds. So if the machine doesn't move to the next step in 5 seconds, the alarm will hurt and the machine will stop immediately. And to stop this condition, we must remove the cause of the problem and then press the stop button. And communication with ESP32 with so in this PPL, I have created the program so the PLC can receive signal from the ESP32 by relay and give signal to ESP32 with relay. Next is obstacle in my job desk is PLC error cannot detect by laptop. So in this PPL a few weeks ago, the PLC cannot detect by the laptop using mini USB Type B. So I must to adapt firmware of the PLC using SDHC card, and then the PLC can run again. Okay, next. Next is the flowchart of our machine. So this is the flowchart of our machine. The first one is the start, and next is the condition is operator detect in camera. If yes, the start button can press in the web. If doesn't, the camera try to detect the operator again. Next is the start button press in the web. It doesn't. The camera still try to detect the operator. If yes, start button in the machine can press. Next is if the start button in the machine press, the machine on and the lifter going up. And after the lifter going up, the sensor for lifter up is detection the lifter. If no, the alarm will hurt, and if yes, the conveyor will going to clockwise until the sensor is detect until the pallet is detected by sensor. If the sensor doesn't detect the pallet, the alarm will hurt. If the sensor detect the pallet, the conveyor off and the lifter going down. Next is if the sensor doesn't detect the cylinder down, the alarm will hurt. If the sensor detect the cylinder down, next step is the motor, the conveyor move counterclockwise. If the sensor still detect the pallet after 7 seconds, the alarm will hurt. If it doesn't detect the pallet again, check condition is the start button in the web is pressed. If not, we check the condition if the emergency button in the machine is pressed. If the start button pressed in the machine in the web, we check the condition start button in the machine. If the start button in the machine is pressed, the machine will end the process. Okay. Next is operator still detect in camera. If doesn't detect again, the alarm will help. If still detect, the machine will going to the first in lister going up. Okay, next is when the alarm will help is held. The next step is fix the cause of alarm and then press the start button. And then the process will end. Okay, next.
Okay, next is Python program, which we use as the main system for real-time person detection and L-shaped hand pose detection, which serve as one of the requirements for turning on the machine. For person detection, we use the YOLO algorithm provided directly by Ultralitic. YOLO was chosen because it has two main advantages. First is speed, which is capable of processing images in real time, and its high accuracy in recognizing specific objects. For letter L detection, we use MediaPipe POS. MediaPipe POS is capable of detecting important body and hand point or landmarks in real time. From the position of the hand landmark, the Python program then analyzes the angle and orientation of the finger to determine whether the pose resembles the letter L. Next, the obstacle. The obstacle of this system is that the person count is something inaccurate, as YOLO perform detection per frame without tracking. So overlapping object, face movement, and lighting can affect the calculation result. Next, the result. The system successfully detect people and recognize the letter R hand gesture in real time as a condition for starting the machine. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, I will explain the completed work and the obstacle encountered during the development of the ESP32 program. First, regarding the completed work, the ESP32 has been successfully connected to the HiveMQ MQTT broker. This connection allows the ESP32 to communicate using the MQTT protocol, which is essential for real-time data transmission in IoT system. Next, the ESP32 is able to successfully send data to HiveMQ and also read data from it. This confirms that both publishing and subscribing processes are functioning properly, and the data exchange between the ESP32 and the broker is stable. In addition, the ESP32 can now control the PLC and communicate with the website. This means the system is able to send control command to the PLC and display real-time data on the web interface, enabling remote monitoring and control of the system. However, during the development process, several obstacles were encountered. The first obstacle was difficulty when initially attempting to establish the MQTT connection. These issues was caused by configuration and logic error, which required several trial and debugging before the connection was successfully established. The second obstacle was an error in creating the correct logic for determining the machine status based on sensor reading from the PLC. At the beginning, the sensor data was not interpreted correctly, resulting in an inaccurate machine status. These issues was resolved by revising the logic and adjusting the data processing method. Next. In the slides show the result of the ESP32 program implementation. As shown in the image, the ESP32 has successfully connected to the HiveMQ Cloud MQTT broker. The connection status indicates that the web client is connected, which confirms that the MQTT communication has been established correctly. Through this connection, the ESP32 is able to publish data to the MQTT broker and also subscribe to specific topics to receive data. This demonstrates that the data transmission between the ESP32 and HiveMQ is working properly and in real time. The interface displayed on the screen also shows that the system is ready to receive and display incoming messages. This confirms that the MQTT configuration, including topics and connection setting, has been implemented successfully. Overall, this result proves that the ESP32 can really be communicated with the HiveMQ broker, providing a stable foundation for further integration with the PLC and the website for monitoring and control purpose. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I will explain about my progress in the UI section. So the UI or user interface is the main display that connects the user with the system. It allows users to monitor the system status, control the files, and see data from the PLC and ESP32. For the progress part, I have finished designing the main UI layout using Figma. The design has three main sections. First, status section to show if the system is running. Second, a control section for button like start and stop. Third, a monitoring section to display data later on. I also made sure the design look clean with consistent color and simple icons so it's user-friendly and easy to operate. Eventually, this UI is still a prototype. It's already prepared to be connected to the PLC and ESP32 for real-time control. From this progress, I learned that creating a UI isn't just about making it look nice, it's about designing something that really helps users operate the system easily. Next obstacle. One of the challenges I faced was arranging the layout so that all the panels fit clearly on one screen without looking too crowded, and also ensuring that icon and color were easy for operator to understand. But after several revisions, I managed to create a cleaner and more user-friendly interface. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, this is the final design of my UI in Figma. I have updated it to make monitoring easier. System status. This section shows if the machine is running or idle, detect the operator, track the motor direction, and check if the cylinder is up or down. Machine error. This panel shows warning of error message clearly so the operator can fix problems quickly. Camera dan control. There is a live camera feed to see the machine and start or stop button to control it easily. The layout is ready to be connected to the PLC and ESP for real-time monitoring. That's all for my part. Thank you.
Okay, so on the slide, I have my part in here as the website developer here. So I have successfully developed the website for this system with three main achievements. So the first is the website can display live video from the camera with minimal delay, only 0.1 seconds, and then allowing real-time monitoring of the machine conditions like live streaming. And then the second, the website is fully connected to the machine via MQTT, enabling two-way communication similar to chat apps. The website sends control comments and receive machine status. And then the third, I create a comprehensive and user-friendly monitoring dashboard that displays machine status, real-time data charts, manual control buttons, and clear visual notifications. And then during the development, we faced several interesting challenges. Initially, video streaming was very slow with only a 3 seconds delay, but after switching to WebSocket technology, we successfully reduced the delay to only 0.1 seconds. Then there was an issue where the Python program for image detection runs separately from the website. The solution was creating an API bridge so both systems could connect and exchange data smoothly. The final challenge was data occasionally getting lost during the transmission, but after comprehensive improvements and adding an automatic reconnection system, now 100% of data is successfully delivered without any loss. Okay, and then this is the demonstration. So the machine here, we cannot start the machine here. We can, after we press the start button on the machine cannot be started. But firstly, we need to be detected from the left-hand camera here. And then after we are detected here, the start button on the website will be activated. And then we need to press it on on this website. And after we press it, the start button on the machine also can be pressable. And after we are pressing on the machine also, then the machine will be starting the cycle. Okay, now we can see here the status, the machine cycles here are displaying on this on the website here. Okay, now we look here. If we are pressing the stop button on the machine will not stop immediately, but we need to firstly pressing the stop button on the website, and then we press again on the machine, then the machine will stop the cycle. Yes, but after we can see after this many of emergencies from our machine. We have 4 emergency here. It is when the cylinder doesn't up, and then the pallet doesn't detect it, and then the cylinder doesn't going down, and lastly is when the operator is undetected when the machine is started. So this is the emergency system. If the operator look here, if the operator is not detected, the machine will be automatically stopped. Okay, that's it.
Okay, on this slide, the knowledge gained by our team is a follow, gaining knowledge about PLC programming and PLC TM241 configuration, gaining knowledge about the use of Trello for detecting the presence of component and gestures, understand how MQTT communication works, and the limitation of HTTP for real-time monitoring. And the last, knowing how to set up ESP32 to act as a gateway between a website and a PLC. Okay, next.
Len, sini Len. Progress
Next
juga
page.
progress.
Okay, now for the conclusion here, our team has successfully designed and implement on outlet digital system integrated with IoT monitoring and the machine vision. The first integration of PLC, ESP32, and then the SCADA, we have achieved real-time monitoring, resulting in safer and more efficient operations. Beyond the technical outcomes, this project has also provided valuable hands-on experience, enhancing students' practical skills in industrial automation and modern manufacturing systems.
Okay, that's all from us. Thank you.